Welcome to I Love My HBCU ? The podcast where we express our undeniable love for HBCUs, but where we are also not afraid to address a few tough questions. So, sit back, learn a little, love a lot, and rep your HBCU.
Hello, everyone. It's Tosin Richard with I Love My HBCU ? And we've had so much fun even before we started hitting record. Look at guys, I hope you're watching. I always hope people are watching and not just listening because I have like the most gorgeous human beings as my guests. And that includes Amari Childs from North Carolina A&T University. Amari, say hello.
Hi. I'm so excited.
Seriously, we've talked about nails. We've talked about so much stuff even before I hit record. But Amari, you are a marketing major at North Carolina A&T. We're on summer break, which is amazing. Tell me one exciting thing you've done so far over the summer.
Something exciting that I've done so far. I would say, honestly, probably all of the graduation parties that I've been able to attend for all of the seniors that I left, especially like my little cousin. Those have been really exciting, watching them like go and graduate and then celebrate their graduations. Definitely their graduation parties.
I'm going to guess this is high school graduation. Yes. Have you been to any college graduations? And before you answer, has it given you this feeling of, oh my gosh, I can't wait on my graduation?
I've been to a college graduation, my sister's graduation. My sister actually graduated from North Carolina A&T in 2019, December 2019. And I was pretty young. I was in 9th grade. So, I mean, I wasn't really thinking about it. So, no.
No, I'm talking about this graduation season.
No. I haven't been to any college graduations.
Is that intentional?
No, I just haven't really. Nobody that I know is graduating, really.
Okay.
Well, I do know some people who graduated from A&T, but I just wasn't going to stay there for the graduation, honestly.
So wait. So that tells me that you are one of those students that the second your last final is complete, you're out.
Yes. Yes. Exactly that. If I could have left right the same day as my last final, I would have. But I love it there. I do. But if I could go as soon as the final is over, I'm leaving.
So I'm curious. Speaking of finals, I'm at Morgan State University, the honors college at Morgan State University. So I'm still heavily academic, and I've got half of my students who actually sit finals, and then the others who just do projects. Which do you prefer?
I actually haven't had the opportunity to just do a project as my final yet. So I do think that I would prefer a project though, just because I'm not the best test taker. It actually gives me a lot of anxiety. So I would definitely prefer a project if I was given the opportunity to pick between one of the two.
Okay, me too. I suck at numbers and at math, so especially any exams that requires me to have to calculate and count top of my head, I'm not going to do well. And it's not self-fulfilling prophecy. No, I'm just not good at numbers. That's just the truth. But I would have assumed that as a marketing major, you would have actually had more projects as your finals as opposed to exams.
That is actually something that our college has talked about. Because the students have definitely said, like, it's been a topic before, like, hey, what about if you guys incorporate our end of the year like finals and stuff as projects instead, just because we are marketing majors, this is so that you can make sure that we're implementing the things that we've learned throughout the semester into something that we can actually like apply. So they've thought about changing up the curriculum a little bit, but as of right now, no, we take finals.
So listen, I'm keeping my fingers crossed that you do that. Although it's not marketing, my specialty area was public relations and public relations, marketing, advertising, and I'm sure several other subject matters. what you're able to show the world that you can do is often a true test of what you've learned over time,
Definitely.
and not just regurgitating terms and theories and so on and so forth. So
Def-
not telling North Carolina A&T marketing department how to do their thing. However, I'm rooting for you guys doing more projects more so
Definitely.
than, yeah. Okay, so Amari, how would your friends describe you?
That's such a good question. I think my friends would really describe me as hardworking. Definitely very hardworking. Like, I'm definitely the friend that's going to send all of the professional development opportunities. I'm the friend that they're going to come to if they need to write an email to a teacher. Like, I'm that friend. I'm definitely the hardworking, more like get it done. Like, my friends call me Miss Stand on Business. Like, I'm just that friend.
I like that. I like that. And before anybody else steals it, I actually think you might want to get that on a shirt. It would sell, Miss Stand on Business. Like
I think so.
seriously, I think it, no, I'm not joking. And from what you've described so far, so good, even before we started talking, you are very focused
Yes.
and goal oriented. So listen, between now and senior year, I think you might want to brand that a little bit.
Honestly, I probably should.
I think you
For sure.
should. Okay, so before we get too far ahead of ourselves, I want to throw the rapid fire segment at you.
Okay.
If you've watched, anyone who's watched or listened, tuned into our podcast, they know I love to throw the rapid 67. And I always ask this question. Well, not always, but most of the time. Why do you think I have it in 67 seconds as opposed to 60 seconds?
I have no idea. Is 7
Nope.
your favorite number? I don't know.
Seven actually is my favorite number. So So that's not a bad guess, but it's because I want to pay homage to 1867 being the year that it's either 9 or 10. I think it's 9 HBCUs were founded in that
Wow.
year. So that's why. See, you're
That's so
with
nice.
me. We're on the same page. Okay, so the clock is going to start. I know my producer's back on. We teased that my producer left me to start this myself. So if I sound like I'm bumbling, that's why. Because sometimes the host just does, that's all they do is just host. And then somebody else runs the stuff behind the scenes. So someone is keeping time. And I'm going to get an alert when the 67 seconds are up. But are
Okay.
you ready?
Yes.
Of course, this is appropriate and apt for me to ask right now, since you've been to a few graduation parties and graduations. You're at your graduation ceremony. Who do you want your commencement speaker to be?
Good one. Oh, that's such a good one. Wow. Wow. I feel like it would be so nice if we could have like Michelle Obama.
That would be beautiful. That would
Yeah,
be beautiful. I'm rooting for that too. She's got 2 more years to come to yours, so I'm rooting for
exactly.
that for you. Amari, describe yourself in 3 words.
Hardworking, goal oriented, and driven.
Hardworking, goal oriented, driven. You literally use the synonyms of this. So you're just somebody that's going to get that. See, this is why you need to brand Miss Stand on Business. That's why you need to brand it. What's the best meal at your HBCU?
I don't know. Probably nothing. The Chick-fil-A.
Oh, God is
The
good. She said
Chick-fil-A.
probably Chick-fil-A. She initially said probably nothing, guys. You heard that. Okay. NCAT, let's do better. Let's do
Yes,
better. Let's do
please.
better. Let's do better. Okay. I have a feeling you're going to give me a really good answer for this one. What's your unpopular opinion about HBCUs?
My unpopular opinion about HBCUs is that all of the negative attention and all of the negative like stereotypes that are placed on HBCUs are exacerbated by the media, and the Black community doesn't do anything but feed into it. And that's why everybody has such a negative perception of HBCUs, because we just feed into it. But you don't see these white people out here bashing their PWIs when they be having just as much stuff going on as we do.
I'm coming back to that. You know I'm coming back to that. You gave us a lot. I'm coming back to that. So I've been told that my time's up, but I always ask this question, so I must. Shout out your favorite professor and what do they teach?
Oh my gosh. Dr. Kimberly McNeil, and she teaches marketing concepts. Well, no, she does not teach marketing concepts. She teaches consumer behavior.
So Dr. Kimberly McNeil,
Yes.
hopefully you get to not only hear this but see this. Amari smiled so wide when I asked that question that she knew that that's the name she was going to say.
Absolutely.
So thank you for all that you are doing at North Carolina A&T for marketing students, because
Yes.
that's the feeling that you're giving them. She's like, of course, Dr. Kimberly McNeil. I love it. I absolutely love it. All right, so listen, time is up, but I said I'm coming back to this unpopular opinion of yours.
Yes.
So give us more. So let me help. When I say give us more, this is this is the part that was loaded that you said that made me say I want Amari to, give us a little bit more on this. The part where you said we feed in to some of the negative stereotypes that the media actually puts out there on us. Give me some examples of what you're talking about and how you think we feed into it, and perhaps what we could do differently so that we're not feeding into the negative stereotypes.
I just think a lot of the times when things happen at HBCUs, you'll find that a lot of times the first thing that we do as the students is run to the socials, and that's normal. Most people run to social media for a lot of different things, but it's especially when it's an HBCU, if it gets to social media, then it's going to get to the news, and then it becomes this big, huge thing, and now it's on the shade room, and it becomes so much bigger than it has to be, in my opinion, because it's a lot of the times it'll be the same things that PWIs will have going on. Their students just aren't going to react to it the same way. For example, at A&T, we had the whole AC crisis, and I was one of the students who was displaced from my dorm. They put me in a hotel. And of course, that was blown way out of proportion, in my opinion. I do think that it was still a very unfortunate situation. I think that A&T could have definitely handled it a lot better, but I don't think that they should have received as much backlash as they should have, just because they did try their best to get all of it in hotels. They were working with us, they were trying. They didn't know that they're whatever happened. I think it was a plant something that had to do with the AC, and they weren't able to get the AC, the heat to our dorms. And I was they didn't know that was going to happen. So I definitely think different funding and things like that. There's so much more that goes into all of the problems that we experience at HBCUs. And so when people get on the internet and they start saying things, and then everybody else is posting it, and now there's news stations trying to get students to do interviews, and it's just all of these white people that are trying to come and exploit our problems for their media shows. It's just, I don't like it.
Clearly, you're somebody that is extremely passionate about the public image of not just HBCUs, but your own HBCUs, and which, by the way, most humans in the US would say North Carolina A&T is one of the best universities in the country, period. Definitely. And not just one of the best HBCUs. So I understand the protectiveness. I absolutely do. Can I throw this at you, though?
Yes.
She's like, yes, throw it at me. Can I throw this at you that perhaps, just perhaps, some of the energy that gets put out there when those types of things happen is because there might have been a history whereby if noise isn't made about it, nothing is done to address the issue. And so perhaps the pendulum has swung so far wide now, whereby it's just energy, negative energy that's being thrown out there, that I'm with you. Some of it is totally unwarranted. And my hope is that the pendulum swings to the middle, whereby you have somebody like Amari who got actually affected by it. Interview her. Whereas somebody like that says, yes, this happened, but here's what's being done about it. And not
Mm-hmm.
just here's what happened and Lord have mercy, look at how bad we are because of it.
Right.
What are your thoughts on that perspective?
I definitely agree. I definitely think sometimes you do have to shake the table in order to get things done that you need, like you want to see done. But in that instance, it was like the problem was, it was like the problem became that they were doing something about it. Like it turned, like instead of it being a perspective of like, okay, they didn't have heat, so they told the students, okay, we're gonna put you guys in hotels, and it's like, okay, we're gonna make sure that you guys have transportation from the hotels, you guys have security at the hotels, you're not in bad hotels. Like I was staying at like the convention center, it was a very nice hotel. And so instead of it being like that perspective, it was more so like, oh, they kicked the students out of their dorms. It was like, but like they moved us so that we wouldn't freeze to death in our sleep. Like, so I didn't understand that, but I definitely agree. Sometimes you do have to shake the table in order to get them to take different situations seriously.
I appreciate that. Okay. So you gave us a little bit more on your unpopular opinion, and I absolutely appreciate it. You happen to be from my neck of the woods. We're in Maryland, by the way. And Amari is from Prince George's County. However, you ended up at North Carolina A&T. Walk us through how you made that college selection all the way from Maryland, all the way as in 6 hours away. How did you? But hold on though. There's Howard, there's Morgan, there's Coppin, there's Bowie, and there's Virginia. I can literally list a whole bunch of other HBCUs. You chose North Carolina A&T. Tell us your college selection journey.
Okay, so well, I have a few family members who went to A&T. Like my older sister graduated from A&T, so it's already kind of like Aggie pride in my family, of course. But then also like the DMV is very known for kind of going to A&T. I don't know what the connection is, but like you will find that there's a lot of students from the DMV at A&T or even Central, like just North Carolina schools in general. I don't know what the connection is between the DMV and North Carolina, but there's just a lot of us out there. But really, truly, I knew what I wanted to do was business, and I know that North Carolina A&T has one of the best business colleges. So I knew that's where I wanted to be. Like literally, during my senior year, I was applying to other colleges, but I knew like I want to go to North Carolina A&T and I want to be a part of their College of Business and Economics because I just knew the opportunities weren't going to be great there, and they haven't failed me. So I'm glad.
She's like, they haven't failed me. So, can I tell you how much joy it gives me? There is oh gosh, Tosin, you should know. There is a motor vehicle commercial on television. I don't know which one, or I can't remember which one. And it's a family, dad, mom, and the kids in the back, and they've got different HBCU paraphernalia on. And at one point, the father said, "Oh, we've checked out all the schools." And then I can't remember who it is, but one person says, "Nope, but there's one more in North Carolina." And it's North Carolina A&T that they're speaking of. It's very clear that NCAT has done so many things right. I want you to tell me, what are the
Definitely.
top 3 things that you are so proud of that North Carolina A&T does?
I would say that the top 3 things that North Carolina A&T always gets right are definitely number 1, making sure that all the students in the College of Business always have opportunities, whether it be companies coming to hire or just talk to us, or having different closing bell series where they have different people come talk to us, just pouring back into us. And then number 2, making sure that we stay connected with our alumni and that they're able to give us different opportunities. We're able to connect with them and get different like positions or even just like scholarships, like just being connected with the alumni and building a good alumni network overall. And then 3, I would definitely say is making sure that we're well taken care of. In my opinion, like when we have wellness days, I know like for some of my friends who go to other schools, their wellness days, some of them don't have wellness days, and then even when they do, it's just like, okay, you don't have class. But like for A&T, when we have wellness days, there's like an entire carnival. It's a fair. They have massages for us, hennas, like face paint. Like it's literally like an entire like big celebration for our wellness day. So I feel like they do good with things like that, making sure that there's things for us to do on campus as well, like social events and ways for us to have fun without having to leave the campus.
Amari, you said henna. Not that I want to have henna on, but I okay. Note to all the other HBCUs that are not doing this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I really do think we need to be a little bit more creative with regards to how we are incorporating wellness days. I know my university has wellness days. I'm going to be quiet on what happens or doesn't happen. Sorry, not sorry. But I do think more universities or more HBCUs should take notes, that it's not just a matter of, oh, you got this date off. Those who don't want to do anything don't have to do anything. But I mean, I want to come to your wellness day for,
Yep.
At least one of the times
Yes.
that you have it, to engage with some things that just make me think about other things or make me be light as a college student on campus. And I absolutely love that.
Yes.
Amari, you have given so much credit to NCAT, especially when it comes to your major and especially when it comes to what it sounds like to me. You have every confidence that when you're done with your college degree at NCAT, you have absolutely nothing to worry about as a marketing major. She's like, absolutely not.
No.
Not every student has that.
Yeah.
Not every student has that. Be honest. Is that you, Miss Stand on Business, Amari Childs? Or do you think that is something that NCAT instilled in you?
I would say both, just because even coming into college, I was just very intentional in making sure that I was taking advantage of all of the opportunities that were presented to me through the business college. So it's like a mix of both. Like, I know what I want. I know like how to get there, but then also like the business college has presented me with so many opportunities that I wouldn't even have thought that I would have been able to experience in just my first year of college. And so being able to experience all these different things and then seeing all the people around me in the business college taking advantage of all these different opportunities and connecting with alumni who have all these like great positions, or even just like, for example, those of us who have scholarships through the College of Business, we were able to go to the man whose name is actually on our college, his house, and we were able to have dinner and just like hearing his story. And he's older, of course, and like hearing his story and how he graduated from A&T and the different things that he did. He went on to work for like a pharmaceutical company, become a big business executive. And so like just hearing different things like that is just like, I know I'm going to be successful when I graduate from here. Like, I know I'm going to be good.
So it sounds also that it's seeing what success potentially looks like.
Yes.
As you start to define for yourself what your definition of success is.
Definitely.
And you also clearly have it within you as a person to want to go after particular things. Your generation gets a bad rap. That's the God's honest truth. So she's like, we do. I want us to take it out of HBCUs, particularly for just a very hot second, and make it a little bit more national and global. And when I say your generation gets a bad rap, I think there's some in my generation and older that think you guys don't care about stuff and think you guys don't go after things. Listen, I will be looking you up once you graduate and staying in. I will, absolutely, because you're going to succeed. Whatever your definition of success is, you are going to succeed. It's very clear. What do you care about? What does Amari Childs care about that is going on in society that people in my generation and older sometimes think, oh, they just don't care, or they're apathetic towards A, B, C, D, E, and F? What gets you either passionate or angry or joyful? Because it's not only anger as an emotion that gets people to care about things. Sometimes it's joy and happiness and seeing how well something works that gets us passionate about something or going after something with purpose. What do you care about? I want to hear.
And this is just like in general, like
In
anything.
general, anything.
Something that I'm really passionate about. I would probably say, okay, this is so random, but I would probably say something that I get really passionate about is being from Prince George's County and feeling like the students or like just the people my age are starting to lower the expectations of Prince George's County. Like, for example, I wrote this essay for one of the scholarships that I was writing. I was just talking about how like a lot of times you'll find with boys that are from Prince George's County, they'll start to take on different hobbies to get money that they shouldn't. And for girls, on the other hand, a lot of us will start doing nails and lashes and hair and stuff like that. And it's easy for us. It's accessible. Like, that's something that we can really get to. Whereas with the boys, they don't have as many options. So they just do what's quick and fast for them. And so stuff like that really bothers me because it's just like, if you guys are all going to jail and getting locked up and killing each other, then like, what is Prince George's County going to be? Like, we can't keep doing this. Like, it's a never ending cycle, I feel like. And I feel like they don't, a lot of us our age, we don't think about it in the future sense. Like, soon we're like, if we keep going down this road, Prince George's County is not going to be what it's been known to be for years. And I don't like that because I have a lot of like passion about being from Prince George's County and being able to say that I'm from Prince George's County. So it's like, wow, like if I grow up and Prince George's County isn't what it was, I'm going to be very disappointed.
So did you see all my face contorting while you were talking? And that's for several reasons. I've had enough students from PG County, and Lord have mercy, there is a pride that is in the water for all of you. It's just there. So kudos to you. My face also contorted because you said this might sound random. And I write a lot of notes when I'm talking, right? And it's not random at all. The very first thing I wrote down was belonging. Mm-hmm. And then the other thing I wrote down was workforce development. And let me tell you why. The joy in my heart when I heard you speak about the options that women typically have and the non-obvious options that young men have. I also love the fact that you called them hobbies. The non-obvious options that the men have. And it made me think, honestly, of the current governor of Maryland, Wes Moore. It also made me think of Angela Alsobrooks, who is the executive for PG County, the equivalent of mayor for county. That's what she is, right? And she's running for Senate. Anyway, okay, because this isn't meant to be political. What I'm connecting, because you said it's random, and this is me just trying to let you know it's not random,
right?
And what you're passionate about is so, I'm going to say so freaking important. When you're in your class and I'm in my class teaching, the number of young men in the classrooms are less and less and less.
Yeah.
And it's something we're all noticing. And there's several reasons. Some of those reasons you've already brought up, that if we could match Amari's passion to see more options for the young men, for them to have pride in different trades, for example,
right?
Different skills, for example, for those who may not necessarily want to go to college, but want to be good at something,
right?
We won't have that branding and that image problem that you are so passionate not to see happen for PG County. See, that's not random. See how I made that connection? That's not random at all. So I do hope you're a marketing major. Let's not forget that. You're in the School of Business. Let's not forget that too. And when you graduate, Amari, you're going to be a powerhouse.
I hope so.
It's not a hope. You are going to be a powerhouse. This is what I do hope. I do hope that in about 10 years or so, when we look back and see the path that you've taken, this passion that you spoke of and that you spoke of as so random connects dots whereby it is not as random. And we see more of these young men in these different skills spaces
Right.
whereby they're not finding themselves in some of the options that you just mentioned. Not
Right.
random, Amari, not random at all. I love this. I absolutely love this. She said it was random. No, it's not. No, it's not. Okay. So I asked you what are your top 3 things that North Carolina A&T gets right. I always ask the opposite, even though I didn't ask it. I'm glad you laughed. Even though I didn't ask it immediately after, I always ask the opposite. And here's why. Because I know how important the positive image of HBCUs are to you. I know
Right.
that. But here's why I ask the opposite. I ask the opposite for accountability. I
Yeah.
ask the opposite for those of us who care, those of us who love our HBCUs, for us to know where we could actually chip in and where we can actually be a little bit more helpful. That's why I ask. So just give me 1, not 3. What could North Carolina A&T do better? And it could be the whole institution, it could be the students, it could be the faculty, it could be the staff. What don't they get right that you think, I think we should be doing this?
First I would say number 1, like top of everything would definitely be making sure that they're hiring people who care about the students more than they care about their jobs. Just because I feel like as somebody who works at a university and like your job is, I feel like if you work at a university, your job should be the betterment of the students and the university as a whole. And I find sometimes that the people are there just to work, and it's like I can tell that you don't necessarily care about the students. So I would say definitely being more intentional and making sure that they're hiring staff that actually care about the students. And then 2, I would say definitely being a lot more organized. Like I think they can do a lot better at just organization as a whole, making sure that different things are communicated properly with students, parents, everybody. Like everything with communication and organization, they can do better with that. And then 3, I would say, what would be the last one? Probably the food. Like, give us some better food options.
I'm not touching that. I'm not touching that at all. I'm not touching that, but I do appreciate you honestly answering the question and not treating it as a cop-out. I really, really do. Amari, you're having dinner with your president, the president of North Carolina A&T, and your president says to you, Miss Childs, you become the president tomorrow and you have 24 hours. You should see the smile on her face. You become the president tomorrow and you've just got 24 hours to implement a rule that can never, ever, ever, ever be changed. What's that rule?
I think, honestly, my rule would definitely probably be that all issues or problems that happen on campus and affect the students in any way need to be properly communicated to the students, and it needs to be a full transparency moment, and that meetings need to be held after different things happen for the students to come out and listen and understand what exactly is going on so that we can eliminate all of the confusion that comes with the different problems that we be having on campus.
Communication, spoken like a true marketing major. I'm going to leave that alone. I'm not touching it. I'm going to leave that alone. Amari, dream with me for a second. You are absolutely amazing, by the way. I hope somebody, well, I'm the one telling you that today, but I hope somebody tells you that every single day, because I've enjoyed our conversation. Just your energy and your lightness alone has blessed me today, and I sincerely appreciate you for that. I really, really do. Dream with me for a hot second. What do you wish for yourself?
Really, I just wish for fulfillment and contentment. Like, I just want to be happy. That's all. Like, I just want to be happy. I want to be content with my life. I want to feel fulfilled. I don't want to feel like I'm waking up every day and doing something just for the fun of it, like not living aimlessly, being very intentional and just being happy.
I wish that for you.
Thank
Amari,
you.
is there anything that you're like, okay, I was told I was going to be a guest, and I know I wanted to say this or I wanted to share this that I may not have covered in this conversation. Bless the audience with it before we close out.
Not necessarily. I would really just say, like, make the best of your HBCU experience. Like, take all the little issues with a grain of salt. Try to be grateful. Try to be patient with your HBCUs. They're trying. And you have to understand that there's so much more that goes on behind the scenes than we realize. So just make sure, like, make the most of your experience while you're there. Like, you're going to have issues no matter where you go. Make the most of it, build those connections, and just take advantage of all the opportunities that you can, because you only got 4 years.
You've only got 4 years. Amari, Miss Stand on Business. That's what I'm calling you. Miss Stand on Business. As we wrap up, leave our audience with one parting word or phrase as to why you love HBCUs.
I would just say seeing Black success just motivates me.
Seeing Black success motivates me. On that note, Amari, on that note, Miss Stand on Business,
Period.
also known as Amari Childs, it has been my absolute pleasure having this conversation with you. I hope that I have earned, anyone watching, anyone listening, I hope that I have earned the honor of you subscribing to I Love My HBCU on YouTube and anywhere where you stream your media. And how could you not like this episode? Not because of me, but because of Amari Childs. Till next time, yours in HBCU love. See you next episode. Amari, thank you.
Thank you.
You've been listening to I Love My HBCU ? Let's keep the conversation going as we share our stories and encourage more practical support of HBCUs, whilst, of course, holding each other accountable. Don't forget to follow and subscribe for the latest episodes. Until next time, love and lift your HBCU.